One of the top quarterbacks in the class of 2026 is down to his final two schools. Who is it? Let's find out. Welcome on in. This is South Carolina here at the Voice of College Football. I'm your host, Lucas Hill. Thank you all for joining us once again for another great video. Everybody do us a favor. Make sure you hit the like and share button. Subscribe if you are a first-time viewer. Also, make sure you follow me on X at Lucas_Hill23. Also, make sure you follow the Voice of College Football at THEVOCFB. Like we mentioned it in our very first live show. We have a lot of things planned for South Carolina at the Voice of College Football. I want to thank our good friends over at Amazon for helping us out. Make sure you use that Amazon link in the description below. And for more information on that, let's hear a little word from our sponsor.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact. Just like whatever link you use right now, no difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.
So Landon Duckworth, as many of you know, is a top 5 quarterback in the class of 2026. Many have him even higher than that. I think there's one recruiting site that even has him as the number 2 or 3 quarterback in the nation. But taking a look at his 247 sports rating, number 6 quarterback in the class of 2026, the number 3 overall player in the state of Alabama. It's down to South Carolina and Auburn as the final 2 schools that are in contention for the elite quarterback. He just posted this graphic actually during our live show that I'm shocked we should have gone over it. That's my bad. I should have done a little bit more research on it. But there's your top 2. It's between South Carolina and Auburn. So how likely is it for Auburn to potentially nab the number 5 overall quarterback in the class of 2026? Well, number one, let's take a look at what this offense would look like between Hugh and between Mike Shula. Mike Shula, let's start off with him first. With Mike Shula, look, you're getting an offensive coordinator who, if he stays, he will be entering his second full year in college. Remember, this is his first time back in the college ranks since 2006. He's the son of Don Shula. He's been in the NFL almost all of his career except for 3 years. Just made his return to South Carolina in 2024, and now he begins his first full tenure as the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach after being promoted by Coach Shane Beamer. This comes after Dowell Loggins left to go be the head coach over at Appalachian State after a pretty impressive offensive showing. So what does Mike Shula bring to the table? Well, Mike Shula brings a heck of a lot of experience. Like we mentioned, he's the son of the legendary Don Shula himself, was the offensive coordinator back when Cam Newton went on his MVP run in 2015. I think if they had won the Super Bowl, I think Mike Shula would have earned himself a head coaching job because of the resume that he brings to the table, obviously with his dad and having been with many different offenses before, was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for 4 years as an offensive coordinator, did great things with that offense, brought them to new heights, really elevated their game, even though it was kind of one-dimensional at the time. One of the biggest things that I've seen from Mike Shula's offenses is their utilization of the option game. You saw it a lot with Tampa Bay with the Warwick Dunns and the Mike Allstotts and the Sean Kings. Even though Sean King wasn't much of a runner, when he did, he was very elusive, and they utilized the option very well. Then when you get to Jacksonville, when he's the quarterback's coach, you dealt with Brian Leftwich, who wasn't bad, but not as mobile and more of a pocket-style quarterback. unlike David Garrard, who could throw on the move, was much more accurate with his throws, and knew what he was doing while he was in the pocket as well, had a high football IQ. Then you go to Carolina, where he's there for majority of Cam's almost his entire years in Carolina from 2011 to 2017, helps bring him to new heights, does great things with him. So what does Lenore Sellers bring to the table, and how does he play a role in this Mike Shula offense? Well, I'm not going to say that Lenore Sellers is like Cam Newton, but I will say there is a lot that I see with Cam Newton that I see a lot in Lenore Sellers. And I could see eventually if Landon Duckworth can put on another 10 to 15 pounds of muscle, guys, this dude has an opportunity to do some great things at quarterback. Now, you may have to sit out a year. You may have to redshirt and learn under Aaron Nolan, who's going to be going into his first year starting in 2026. At least that's the expected role, unless Sellers decides to return to South Carolina in 2026, which I don't think will happen, just knowing where he was at the end of the year and how high his draft stock will be. But Duckworth, to me, went number 5 overall in the Elite 11 fantasy draft. The finals will be this next week, so that'll be the week of the 16th and the 17th. Dynamic dual threat play, signal caller. He's a made-to-order for a modern spread attack. So basically what Mike Shula has done is that when he had Cam in his system, majority of the time, when you spread out the offense, that gets your defense to basically cover all aspects of the field. Well, that's just going to leave the middle wide open so that if you wanted to run a quarterback draw, hey, I'm running straight up the middle at their butt. That's a perfect play design. And from what I see with Duckworth, I see pretty much the same thing in what he's doing out in Jackson, Alabama. And I like the fact that it's a very good pairing with Duckworth and with Mike Shula. He's going to get to watch Lenore Sellers in this offense, and he's better be taking notes as to what he might get himself into. Because I really am intrigued by this offense because I've seen what a Mike Shula offense looks like. I haven't seen it at the college level, but at the pro level, it can be really elite with a great signal caller. And I like what is pairing this year in 2025 with Lenore Sellers, who, in my opinion, is one of the best dual threats coming into college football in 25, to go along with a signal caller that has been around some of the best dual threat quarterbacks of our time, a la Cam Newton. Now, Duckworth is going to, it kind of fits the mold of what Sellers brings. Now, he's about 40, 50 pounds lighter, but I think if a Duckworth can put on a maybe 210, 215, it's going to be a hard time for defenders to really catch him because this dude has wheels. This dude can roll at a high rate of speed. And the kid is also has a brilliant arm, but also has the same struggles that Sellers does. Has a very good touch on his deep shots, but I will say his ball placement can be a bit erratic, kind of what Sellers is dealing with this year. So is it fair to compare Landon Duckworth to Lenore Sellers right now? No, because Sellers outweighs him by about 40 pounds and is a bit more shifty. Duckworth, on the other hand, he goes into his senior year of high school. This kid has a lot of opportunities to potentially get himself mentally prepared and really continue to learn in that spread offense that he's in so that he can go into Mike Shula's install come next spring. He's ready to go because he's already been in this offense that's similar. He can just soak it all in. Now, when you get him into a Hugh Freeze offense, what do you bring? Well, it's almost the same thing because Hugh Freeze has lived and died by the option game. But the problem is that it feels like sometimes that the offense is just too outdated, shall we say. But I do think that with what he brings, I don't know if it's going to be good enough to fit along with what Hugh Freeze. And the fact that Freeze is sitting dang near on the hot seat, I don't know if it's an ideal situation that he wants to get himself into. I know it's in Alabama. I know that literally the distance between his high school in Jackson, Alabama, all the way out to the plains isn't too far away, but still, it's about a 3.5 hour drive out to Auburn from his high school. So, but still, with a coach whose future is still up in the air and who hasn't proven much at the quarterback position, you went through 2 years of Peyton Thorne that didn't turn out well, and you went through a plethora of different 2 or 3 different quarterbacks last year that just did not work out for you. My thing is, if you can pair him with the elite talent that Auburn has out at receiver, Cam Coleman's going to be a junior this next year in 26. The receiving room is still young. You have a backfield that's going to be young, a defense that's going to be young. Why not go in there and learn that offense as well? I do like it. The problem is that Auburn just doesn't have a signal caller. And for a Hugh Freeze offense that has been around for 10 plus years, it's outdated. The quarterback position has changed over the years. And it's not where it was in 2014 and 15. It shifted from pro style. Sometimes you'll scramble out where you want a guy that's an athlete. Duckworth might be your guy. We'll see what happens this year with Jackson Arnold and company, but if South Carolina is able to not only flip the number 1 overall recruit in the class of 26, which we talked about earlier in the week, which I thought was incredible, who's going to be taking a visit to South Carolina this weekend in Zion Ellie. Not to mention, you got a chance to go nab Landon Duckworth. If I'm South Carolina, I'm throwing all my cards in. I'm putting all my chips out there for the guys to look at. Guys, you get an opportunity to be the next generation of great talent that comes through Columbia, South Carolina. Take it and run with it. That's my pitch to them. This is their team. This is their future. You dictate what happens to it. Guys, that's going to wrap it up for us. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to South Carolina, the Voice of College Football. Make sure you follow me on X at Lucas_Hill23 and follow the Voice of College Football at THEVOCFB. We're live Wednesdays on YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever your favorite streaming service is. Guys, going to be a heck of an offseason. We are less than 80 days away from kickoff. Again, thank you. Make sure you click the Amazon link in the description below, and we will see you all on the other side. Peace.